Hello, my name is Lauren, and welcome to the Theoretical YouTube channel. And have you seen Crimes of Grindelwald yet? Because I did, and I loved it. And well, yes, I must admit, it's not a technically good movie. I will say it's my new favorite Harry Potter movie, at least based off of pure enjoyment in the theater alone. Of course, I've always had an unpopular ranking of the Harry Potter movies, so maybe that's a video for another day. But regardless whether or not you enjoyed the movie, you have to admit, it raises some questions. Like, why the heck did Credence end up with Mary Lou Barebone in New York City? Because we're pretty sure the answer is more complicated than it seems. Spoilers in this video. Many spoilers. I feel like if you missed this warning, you kind of deserve what's coming to you. Anyway, after that whole intro about Crimes of Grindelwald, let's talk about the first Fantastic Beasts movie. Because that's where we meet the woman whose levels of cruelty reach Umbridge levels of insane.
I'm sure I must have misunderstood you.
That's right, Mary Lou Barebone's parenting style was so harsh, people were actually comparing her to Dolores Jane Umbridge. You know you need a lifestyle change when the internet thinks you're related to a sadist pink toad. But despite the huge role that Mary Lou plays in the movie, what do we actually know about her? I mean, she's the leader of the New Salem Philanthropic Society, she beat Credence and his adopted siblings, and she died when Credence attacked her. Wow, what a complex and dynamic character! But seriously, the only thing we really know about her is that she hates witches. But why? Did a wizard kill her parents? Was she attacked as a child? We are never given an explanation. But the thing is, she's right. There are witches in New York City. Magic is real. Everything she says in the film is actually true.
And laugh if you dare! Witches live among us.
She knows about magic. And not in a tinfoil hat kind of way. She has physically met and dealt with wizards and magical creatures. Oh, you want proof? Well, did you see Crimes of Grindelwald? Because Irma the half-elf specifically mentions that Barebone woman and how she was supposed to take care of Credence. Was chosen to take care of Credence. But why in the world would the Lestrange family even do this? Why would Corvus Lestrange want the only person he had ever loved delivered to a muggle woman halfway across the world? A woman who is not exactly discreet about her views on magic. And by the way, Mary Lou Barebone was completely aware of who she was going to adopt. She tells Credence,
I am not your mom. Your mother was a wicked, unnatural woman.
So she knew she was adopting the son of a wizarding family. But why would she do that? And why did she have access to the wizarding world? Nothing about this transaction makes any sense. So here's the theory. Mary Lou Barebone is a squib. If you made it this far into the video, you probably already know what a squib is. But for the sake of clarity, I'll explain. A squib is a non-magical person born to magical parents, like the opposite of a muggle-born. They're fairly rare, but Argus Filch and Arabella Figg are examples from the main series. And here's the thing. Squibs are treated like dirt. I mean, the main series likes to focus on the prejudice that muggle-borns face in wizarding society, but squibs have it 10 times worse. Because squibs aren't even allowed to be part of the wizarding world. In fact, it's one of the worst fears for a wizarding family to have a squib for a child. Neville was shunned by his family until they realized he actually did have magical ability. Merope Gaunt was tortured and bullied by her father, who considered her to be a squib. The rumors that Ariana Dumbledore were a squib brought shame to the Dumbledore family because they weren't allowed to tell the truth about their daughter. Filch is forced to clean the entire Hogwarts castle by hand, even though any of the other staff members could easily do the same with magic. Honestly, the only reason he sticks around is probably to pretend like he's accepted into the society that he longs for. Arabella Figg is forced to live in the Muggle world, a lonely life because she grew up in a different world. Squibs aren't even allowed to go to Hogwarts. The closest a non-magical person has ever come to going to school was a squib named Angus Buchanan, who smuggled himself into Hogwarts and threw himself underneath the Sorting Hat during the ceremony, who promptly told him he wasn't a wizard and had to leave. Man, the Sorting Hat is my favorite character. He gets to learn people's secrets and then judge them. But here's my point. Imagine you're 11 and you have grown up in a wizarding family. Your parents use magic, your siblings use magic. That one weird uncle that you only see at Thanksgiving, yeah, he can use magic. And you can't. But not only that, you can't go to school. At least, not a school that would prepare you for the only life you've ever known. Instead, you get banished from society and forced to live among people that you were not raised to understand or relate with. Can you imagine knowing that magic is real, but never being allowed to interact with it? Called an embarrassment to your family because of a disability that you had no control over when you were born with? Yeah, I'd be angry too. So what if that's the case for Mary Lou Barebone, a squib who was cast out of wizarding society and is bitter about it and wants revenge, who's willing to take to the streets and expose the people who spurned her? But there's another piece here. Why would the Lestrange family give her their son? The only information that Irma gives us is that it was necessary. Because that's not vague. What could possibly be true about baby Corvus Lestrange that would warrant giving him to a squib woman across the Atlantic Ocean? Unless Corvus was a squib too. And the Lestrange family was hiding the secret by sending him away as far as possible to Mary Lou Barebone, someone who knows what's going on. Because if Mary Lou was a squib, then she's completely convinced that Credence is one too. Let's go back to her quote from earlier.
Your mother was a wicked, unnatural woman.
Not you, your mother, his parents, but not Credence himself. If Mary Lou knows what a squib is, then she absolutely thinks that her children are. Mary Lou Barebone was adopting squibs. Think about it. Of all the poor kids handing out pamphlets for the Second Salemers, only 3 are actually her children. Credence himself, Chastity, the worst name for a child ever, and Modesty. All adopted as babies and raised to hate witches above all else.
My mommy, your mama, gonna catch a witch. My mommy, your mama, flying on a switch.
Doesn't this idea make the name of her organization make a little bit more sense? I mean, why is it called the New Salem Philanthropic Society? If the goal is to spread awareness and violence towards people, I feel like philanthropic isn't even a close description. Why not call it the New Salem Anti-Witchcraft Association? Or just the Second Salem Movement? What good towards man are they actually doing? Well, if her goal is to actually create a safe haven for disadvantaged youths, who just so happen to also be squibs, things start to fall into place. And maybe this is why Makusa doesn't even do anything about it. I mean, the woman has got to be close to exposing the statute of secrecy, and yet Tina is even fired for attacking her. But if she's actually working with the wizarding community to take care of unwanted squibs, then she's doing them a favor. But I hear you typing in the comments section, Credence isn't a squib. Grindelwald thought he was, but it's not true.
You're a squib, Credence. I could smell it off you the minute I met you.
Well, I respond slyly, why did he think he was in the first place? I mean, what possible reason would Grindelwald have to believe Credence was anything but a muggle? He would have to know that Credence didn't himself possess magic, but came from a magical family. Like maybe a well-documented adoption by Mary Lou Barebone for the Lestrange family. But you say, Credence still isn't a squib. Need I remind you that he isn't Corvus Lestrange either? That's right, folks! If you saw the movie, then I am sure you remember that Leta Lestrange switched her brother for a random baby on the boat. What if the reason that Corvus was being transported to America was that he was born without magical ability, and his family specifically selected the one woman with wizarding connections in America who was willing to adopt a squib? So Mary Lou Barebone thought she was receiving the rejected son of the Lestrange family. Rejected just like she was when she was cast out of the wizarding world. But the baby she received wasn't Corvus Lestrange, it was Credence. Whether or not he's actually Aurelius Dumbledore, we have to admit, he is not who she thought he was. Who anyone thought he was, including Grindelwald, the Lestranges, the American government, and pretty much everybody but Lita herself, who knows Corvus died because she switched the babies. And we know that's true because his little picture on the Lestrange family tree shrivels up when she tells us. So there we go. Mary Lou Barebone was a squib who was adopting squibs, including the lost son of the Lestrange family. Her hatred of witches is what fueled her to create a safe haven for disadvantaged youth. She just so happened to be a horrible person who also beat them. So close to a happy ending, and yet it's just the start of an epic adventure. Hey, so if you were following the trailer analysis for Crimes of Grindelwald before it came out, you pretty much knew about Credence's connection to Corvus Lestrange. I mean, pretty much everyone was convinced they had figured out his family before even seeing the movie because of how much the trailers gave away. Like the Lestrange tomb and all of the ravens and, you know, the Lestrange family tree with Credence's name on it. But remember how at the beginning of the movie, someone asks if we've heard the rumors about Credence being Corvus? Yes, I have heard the rumors. In the real world. Man, I feel like this movie was made for people who have breathed Harry Potter their entire lives. And considering how poorly everyone else received it, I'm guessing we're not going to get this deep cut of a film again. So enjoy it while it lasts. Anyway, if you enjoyed today's video, how about you give us a like and hit the subscribe button located just below the screen. Come on, you know where it is. And if you want more Harry Potter content, you can click these boxes that will magically appear and watch them. It's so easy, you don't even have to leave the screen. Honestly, it's so much better than clicking on a video in your feed. Because I'm in them. No? Ah well. I'll see you later.
Are you a seeker after truth?
I'm more of a chaser, really.